have to play out.
7th place. Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart hit him. Tony Stewart hit Mark Martin, who then collects Ward Burton off the wall.
Come on the flag. Nobody's in your mirror.
Tony was looking and looking and looking, and he took out Mark Martin, who then collected Ward Burton. Here again, you see the view. There's the hit, and Ward's done right there.
Eli knows for a fact that he wouldn't do it on purpose, but he had a head of steam up there. He's drafting up on Mark Martin, and when he touched him, I mean, it was at a place on the racetrack. It just turned Mark right across the racetrack.
And that was a brutal hit. I mean, look at the angle of attack that he hits that wall.
While battling for the 8th position, Tony Stewart turns Mark Martin down the straightaway. This has to be one of the stupidest things Tony Stewart has ever done in his racing career. Mark Martin was just throwing a normal block, and Tony Stewart just hooks him down the straightaway into the wall. This is totally uncalled for and extremely dangerous, especially in the early 2000s with these types of race cars that were not as safe as they are today.
Into the outside wall hard.
Side. Go to the garage. Done.
He's on the outside of Austin Dillon. There's contact in turn 2.
It wasn't the 3's fault. Just take our lumps, you know, just shouldn't be there. I don't know what our problem is, but the M&M's Camry was not very good, and we're running terrible, and we got wrecked.
Kyle Busch may be one of the greatest NASCAR drivers to ever live, but even he could do some stupid things on or off the racetrack. Kyle Busch drove in the wall off of turn number 2 at Darlington, and then proceeded to drive straight through the garage area and hit a bunch of cones and almost hit some pedestrians. Busch was fined $50,000 for an unsafe entry into the garage area at Darlington after crashing. After being taken out on the racetrack by Ricky Rudd, Kevin Harvick was furious. Down the backstretch on the cooldown lap, Kevin Harvick drove angrily towards Ricky Rudd. He ended up fighting him on pit road after Ricky Rudd's car had to go through some inspection that they did back in the early 2000s. Kevin Harvick got next to Ricky Rudd, parked right beside him, jumped on his race car, and they had a shouting match. Harvick was ultimately fined for his actions on the racetrack post-race.
NASCAR officials telling Kevin to get off the car, get the crewman off the car. Kevin going to have his say. Well, here we go. He walked across the top of the 21, and now it's on.
I'll tell you what, that big official, Big Andy, Big Andy's, think about going by Andy. There's Todd Berry, the crew chief. Matt!
Yeah.
Benny, we've got Todd Berry trying to hold back Kevin. Very frustrating night, Kevin. Yeah, I tell you what, Jim Goodwin's car was good tonight. Ricky Rudd took a goddamn cheap shot at us. And if he's gonna, take a cheap shot, he's gonna get one back, I promise you that.
This move by Ross Chastain makes you think, really, what was he thinking? Did he know that he can get away with this? Did he think he can get away with this? Nobody really knew what was going through Ross Chastain's head, but he ended up cutting the track and driving back out on the racetrack in the lead. This is something that's never been done in NASCAR, and what ultimately happened was Ross Chastain was disqualified from his finish and placed on the last car on the lead lap, ending his 2nd place finishing result. But it was still a great moment to watch for TV. After this incident on pit road with Austin Hill and Myatt Snider, Austin Hill received no penalties, fines, or suspension for knocking Myatt Snider out cold turkey on pit road. This is the only camera shot that we have of it, and it is one that will be lived on for the ages to come.
The two drivers appear to be having a discussion, and then what happens next, well, we'll let you draw your own conclusion. NASCAR has seen this footage in the last 30 minutes and have told us that they are going to be talking to both teams and drivers about the incident that took place there.
A wild ride with Brad Knopfsinger. After the checkered flag in the open, he cut a tire and went careening across the infield. The car arced right through the gate and hit the pace car. Security guard Donald Ivey suffered a broken ankle in that mishap, which saw Knopfsinger unable to steer his bent-up race car. First pace car driver did a good job of backing out of the way so that Brad could hit the second one.
During the 2021 New Hampshire race, rain started to fall entering turn number 1 as Kyle Busch pounded the wall with the rear of his race car after losing traction on a slippery surface. He was so upset with NASCAR, he ran down the backstretch and hit the pace car's bumper and almost tore it off. I can guarantee you NASCAR was extremely upset after this.
Value. Oh,
he's got the wind in it now. Pushing the pace car.
I don't believe I would do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. It's definitely going to draw the attention of NASCAR there. I guess it's frustration.
Stephen Wallace, who was Rusty Wallace's son, was a weapon in the NASCAR Nationwide Series at the time, which is now the NASCAR Xfinity Series. No matter where he was on the track, Stephen Wallace was a wreck magnet. He would find the wreck or be the wreck, or start the wreck. No matter what, this 66 car could just not get out of the way of other competitors. He was always crashing into things. But this one was so bad, he piled into the wreck when he was so far behind, it's embarrassing.
It's Michael Annette. Well, guys, you know, you heard that he didn't know what happened. He got run over.
Whoa!
Oh,
Trevor Bayne.
Trevor Bayne in the race leader. What happened here?
All of a sudden, he gets spun around. It affects also Stephen Wallace.
Yeah, and that just gets loose and gets in a wall right there, and that's all by himself right there. Just gets loose.
And one spotter saying, "Okay, caution, turn 3."
So now the caution's out. See the caution waving on the right-hand side. Stephen Wallace right behind him. Oh, that's what happened. They just checked up because the caution car tries to pull out in front of the field right
yes,
there.
Yes, he did. Caution car come out a little early there.
Unbelievable. Way too early.
They were both on the brakes. Did you see the caution car jumping out?
Oh, yeah. Trevor Bayne sees it.
Because he knows you can't pass the caution car.
He also hit a fence head-on in the garage area. Now that's horrible.
To pit road. There was a big accident there. He got sideways and he went into the fence, and you can see an extreme amount of damage on that race car. They had to put it on a rollback and take it out of the racetrack. It's done for today, that's for sure.
In the 33 as Logano goes to the point. 3 wide in turn 4. A squeeze to the outside wall. Trouble in the corner. Hard, vicious crash. Who gets through to win the race? Caution flag has just been called. The race leader is James Buescher in the 30 car.
James Buescher will forever be the guy that had a brain cell after the end of this Daytona race. I will never forget watching this race as a little kid, seeing the entire front field fall apart and they all crash each other trying to win the nationwide race at Daytona. This is a race that was so funny I will never forget for the rest of my life. I just still cannot believe this many cars wrecked, and 13th place James Buescher won the race.
It's working really well. Oh, Jimmie gonna take. Oh, no, Jimmie! Contact.
And around goes Menard into the wall, taking cars with him. Clear.
While trying to look for his final win in the NASCAR Cup Series, Jimmie Johnson was racing hard in the Busch Light Clash at Daytona and wrecked Paul Menard and ended up causing a massive accident that took out over half the field. The rain came and Johnson ultimately won the race, but it was still a very bad look on Jimmie Johnson's part.
We had mentioned when they were on pit road and they were working on the car, you can't have more than 6 members of the pit crew over the wall. We actually counted it. We saw there were 7. NASCAR has also looked at it. They said that's too many men over the wall.
And the problem with too many men over the wall is during the course of the race, if it happens on a normal pit stop, you just go to the tail end. But when you are on the 5-minute clock, when you are part of the damaged vehicle policy, which the 20 of Matt Kenseth was absolutely on, he was in the accident, that these 7 men right here, that is basically you are done in the event. You have failed the damaged vehicle policy. The 20, no matter the amount of damage, cannot continue. They will go to the garage. They can no longer participate in this race.
Matt Kenseth was disqualified and ultimately cut from the playoffs during the 2017 race at Kansas. Kenseth had too many people over the wall to try to fix his race car after an accident. NASCAR saw that and ended up disqualifying him immediately.
Conversation between these guys. Did we go out a little early? Did we make it to the track a little too early?
Corey's like, what is that?
Oh.
Yeah, this had to be a shock. A truck for everyone.
Now into 5 and turn 6.
All of that contact between the 2 leaders is allowed. Well, the 24 is spinning. The 24's, there's multiple cars into the wall here. There must be oil or some kind of fluid down on the racetrack right there in turn. We got more cars coming in.
William Byron is reporting that the curb came up. He hit
hit the curb in the 24.
Yeah, the curbing is coming up, and that's what everyone hit when they were coming through there in turn 6. The curbing comes up, catches a bunch of the cars, the front ends of the cars, and numerous cars are destroyed. Take a look at what happened to Daniel Suarez's car.
Looks like he gets turned by the 20. You can already see some cars having trouble with that curb and debris going everywhere. Truex gets spun around right here. He's riding on top of the roof cam. Lifted out of the gas, I assume, because he's seeing the debris and uncertain.
Watching Martin Truex Jr. spin across the racetrack and get into the tire barriers without a caution is something unfathomable. How was there not a caution for Martin Truex, and this would have prevented the chaos that ensued on the following lap when William Byron's oil tank exploded as he ran over the curb, sending chaos into the chicane.
Matt has not hit yet, so he's got a bunch of them trapped, one down.
I could have got to pit road that time, but I didn't know. I mean, we can't make our pit stop under yellow. We got to do it under green. They need to stop us. We need to pit. Ask them what they want us to do.
Matt Kenseth is going to be held one lap.
They told me that if we got in this situation, they would red flag it so that we'd have an opportunity to pit. I don't need to explain this. Let me know what you may do. I'll pit here then. All right, buddy. Single file down pit road. They're going to do a lug nut check. Is this the brake?
No,
How does this work now?
This race reminds me of when I tried to fly a remote control helicopter for the first time. I didn't know what the was going on.
We hit pit road under green, so that's good. At lap 50, they're going to throw the yellow. That's going to be their brake. At that time, we're going to take our left side tires.
Austin Hill is the current whiny bag in the Xfinity Series. If anybody races him hard or anybody races him dirty, he throws the biggest tantrum, and it showed during the 2024 Xfinity race at Charlotte with Cole Custer. After the wreck ensued, Austin Hill decided to turn Cole Custer down the backstretch. This was extremely uncalled for.
Check what happened. There's Tony. Wow, man, well, it doesn't get more blatant than that.
And look at this, up across the track. And a lot of guys with some heads-up driving.
Yeah, a lot of cars missed this wreck.
Oh, my goodness. With Bobby Labonte getting by on the inside, we saw Mike Wallace go by on the outside. Dale Jarrett back in the 88.
NASCAR has sent the 20 to the end of the longest line for aggressive driving.
Yeah, you don't drive all the way across the racetrack like that unless you're after somebody. So NASCAR made a call, aggressive driving. It's just, it seems a little bit ironic that this is the driver that started all that after the Bud shootout about guys being too aggressive and causing problems.
And we see Tony going down pit road, and he's being followed by Matt Kenseth.
He's probably going to, thought he was going to tap him when he did.
He thought he was going to.
He wanted
and then
to.
Robbie Reiser talked him out of it.
No.
His crew chief, Robbie Reiser, talked Matt out of doing what he was thinking about doing.
Now, as good as this car is with the 20 car right now, I mean, he'll get his way back up to the front. But we'll see how good the 17 is.
Marty?
As you can imagine, Matt Kenseth is extremely upset. He said, I had a winning race car. There was no reason for him to do that. He felt the NASCAR's penalty was not strong enough. They're concerned about the left front valence on this car. They want to clear it from the left front tire to make sure it won't rub. Alan?
Tony Stewart has come down pit road for repairs to his car. They're checking around that right rear bodywork, being sure of their tire clearance. They've also put a big patch on the left rear where there's some fender damage there as well. And they'll send Tony back out here with those repairs affected to his car.
Thank you, Alan. How emotional is Tony Stewart? This is his onboard camera a few minutes ago.
He evidently looked up and saw that he was on camera on the big screens around the racetrack and said, move the camera. Now we're going to leave pit road.
And NASCAR Race Control a moment ago told both these drivers, Matt Kenseth in the 17 and Tony Stewart in the 20, to settle down.
Well, you know, Kenseth should be hot.
he's got a race car that's probably not capable of winning the Daytona 500 now because of that.
Black flag 17. Matt Kenseth will have to come to pit road.
And they're going to throw the green flag.
This is them coming off of pit road after they had been warned to settle down.
When you leave pit road, you can't go above the yellow line. And he was, in his eagerness to get to the 20 car, went above the yellow line.
The green flag is out, so we'll see what Matt does.
Well, I mean, Matt will come in, but he pretty much knows that his day is over. He doesn't have a shot at winning this race any longer.
Going to Phoenix. That was a determined, savvy drive. And look at that, right at the end, Christopher Bell drives his way in as well. Right at the very end. Look at Adam Stevens. I think the 20 past the 23 coming to the line for the 1 point that he needed. This is it. Watch this, the 23 and the 20. He went for it, almost lost control, hits the wall, drives off the wall, sort of Ross Chastain-esque. Gonna be a lot of conversation in the NASCAR tower about the entire finish of this race between all the cars racing for points, but what a drive by Blaney.
This was by far the most controversial race in the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season, and possibly one of the most controversial races ever. Towards the end of the race, Christopher Bell needed to gain one more spot on William Byron. That's it, one more spot. And in front of him was Bubba Wallace slowing down with an alleged cut tire. When Christopher Bell noticed this, he drove it extremely hard into turn 3 and went into the wall. He then would hit the wall and ride the wall just like Ross Chastain did, which is illegal now in NASCAR. Bell was able to gain that position of Wallace and punch his ticket into the championship race. Well, he thought. NASCAR would then deem the rule was illegal and knock Christopher Bell out of the Final Four. But that wasn't the only controversial moment of the night. Just like we said, he needed to pass Bubba Wallace. And Bubba Wallace was told on the radio Christopher Bell's position, and then he said, "I have a tire going down." That seems fishy. And if that doesn't seem fishy enough, even the Chevys were trying to hold up to not pass William Byron to help him make the Final Four. Ultimately, NASCAR would hand down a penalty to Christopher Bell and say it was an illegal move. Byron would get in the championship 4, Bell would be out.
10 to go at the line here, 10 to go at the line. 5 back 11, then 10 to the 24. 24 and 20 are separated by a point right now. Sorry, 3 to go at the line, 3. I think I got a tire going down. 10-4, just nurse it home, nurse it home. Hold it up top, coming to the white.
So, information from the spotter to Bubba Wallace. Bubba claims he has a tire going down. That explains his speed down the backstretch. NASCAR is going to through these same radios that we have. Then we saw the pass by Christopher Bell. The slide job on the 23 got him into the wall. Then there will be question mark on the second half of that corner where he was absolutely against the wall, and how NASCAR sees if that's within or out of bounds.
So here's the radio from the 3 of Austin Dillon.
You know the deal? Just trying to find him to tell him. Justin, you tell crew chief also clear off. Out they go! 10-4, does the 1 crew chief know the deal? Yeah, he should.
Yes, so there you go. You hear communication about the 3 and the 1 car. And so now let's go listen to the 1 car.
Nice and smart with the 24 here down there, door. 24 is 1 to the good, 1 point to the good. Down there, even. 6 is lined up with the 3.
Back for third. Doesn't really matter.
This is the battle right here. Brian Vickers, he's on the high side. Got a little bit of a run off turn 2.
But a big block by Bliss.
It's going to get exciting down here, boys.
Go or go home time right now.
Vickers turns it to the bottom, but he can't get by.
He just can't get enough nose under him without getting into him. Oh, he did get him.
Sideways.
Spins him in. Vickers wins.
He did. Vickers has beat him across the line just by a car length. Mike Bliss did a whale of a job.
Did we make it? Did we make it?
No, Mike, you didn't make it.
If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Also, if you've liked this video, I'm pretty sure these videos will catch your eye also.